Hello, welcome to a new setup and also a brand new live stream. What's going on, guys? So, going to be doing a new thing every now and again, or maybe every week, part of the week, where we have a chill and chat stream. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. But how you all doing? Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. Tech issues. Aren't they great? Just give me 2 seconds while I sort my camera out. But everyone is free to join. Just click the link at the top of the comments and I'll bring you in. Don't have to join. You can just sit in chat. You can enjoy. But as the title says, we hit 400 subs today. I'm happy. I'm excited. And I can't wait. We've all got Dark Lycan in the chat. He's going to be jumping on shortly. And as always, the one and only T is in the chat. Give me a quick second, guys, while I sort my camera out, and then I will be right with you. Technical difficulties, eh? Who needs them? Yeah, no worries, Baz. Eat some food, and I'll be with you shortly. So, if people were wondering why I just had some technical difficulties, it's because I was trying a new streaming setup for these live streams, where you saw a different layout to what you usually see when I'm on live streams, and it clearly didn't work. So while I'm on my vacation and I'm taking a week off from everything, Baz is saying hello to T. There we go, people. You can now see me. And you can see my Megazord collection behind me. Hey, T again. Duffman Dioramas, congrats on 400 peaks. Cheers, man. I said this in my tweet. I put a tweet out. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's twitter.com/thepeakyarrow. And I put it out on Twitter today that we hit 400, and I said in my tweet, I would not be able to do this without all of you guys. You guys are the reason why I continuously keep on uploading and doing new content. It's for you guys because I love entertaining all of you. It's what I love doing the most. But thank you again. Everyone's saying hello to each other. I love it when you guys say hello to each other. I really do. Captain Spalding, how you doing? Cheers. Honestly, the 400 is nuts. I didn't think I'd be at 400. I honestly didn't think I would be at 400. I've been doing YouTube now for 2 years, and I didn't think I'd be reaching 400 this soon. I'm nearly at 55,000 views already as well. I didn't think I'd be hitting these milestones so quickly in my time. For those who don't know, I used to stream on Twitch 5 days a week, 4 or 5 hour streams, 5 days a week. Barely hit 100 subs on there, and I was only just over 100 followers. So to now be moving over to YouTube and 2 years later hitting 400, hitting 55,000 views, I think we're maybe 16 uploads now from 200 videos. Right, I couldn't imagine it. Everyone's saying hello together. Everyone's saying hello to each other again. It's awesome. It's mind blowing. I got to admit, when I saw I hit 400, thanks to a certain somebody here in the chat, and I know it was you. I did get a bit emotional. I did shed a tear, and I guess the next grind is to hit 500. Can we do it? Can we hit 500 before the end of the year? That's the question. Because I need to start planning the 400 celebration video, and I already know what I've got planned for 500. I'm just putting it out there. I know what I have planned, so it is just hitting that mark now. Which, yeah, knew it was UT. Can't pull wool over my eyes. But we have just realised I haven't tweeted out or shared out that I'm currently live apart from my own server. For those who don't know, we have a server for the channel. A nice, quaint little server. Just so I can, it's mainly there so I can interact with you guys a little bit more than just replying to comments or talking to you in the chat. It's somewhere where we can all hang out together. I will be doing probably regular things in the Discord where we have like a games night one night or something, and we'll make it a little bit more like where people can get involved. You can share any ideas, any suggestions you may have for the channel, and yeah, anything is possible. What is the goal? Get monetized? Eventually, yes. Eventually, I would love to get monetized. It's there. It's in my goal, but at the moment, 500. 500 would be a great milestone to get, especially before the end of the year. We've got what? 5 months? 5 months to get another 100 subs. It's doable. So there's the Discord link, guys. If you're not already, feel free to join. I'm not going to force you if you don't want to join. If you don't use Discord, that's fair enough. But it's there if you want to get involved in the community a little bit more, and you get a personal connection with me. Happy 400 subs, Peaky. Thank you, Shanti. For those who haven't subbed to Pop My Culture, check them out. Shanti and her fabulous and very handsome co-host, Josh. They are amazing, and their channel is amazing. So if you haven't already, go sub to them. game night would be fun. Just not. It would be kind of maybe like the Jackbox party games. So it'd be like Quick Flash and stuff like that, like interactive games where we can all play and hang out and have fun. Saying hello to everyone again. You'll get there. So yeah, I'm. Honestly, it's. I never had more fun creating content than what I do on YouTube. As a lot of us here in the chat know, with creating content, it can be stressful, it can be tiring, it can be frustrating, but the end goal is worth it. So hello to everyone again. Thank you, Pete. You're welcome, Shanti. You're welcome. I love you both, and I know I love your channel, so happy to share you guys out. Fortnite stream. I don't. I tell you what, right, Captain Swarling, I haven't touched Fortnite since it first came out with the first map. Not touched it since. So I don't understand Fortnite anymore. Baz, I'm just here for the girls. I heard you was the #1 dogger, so I thought there would be girls. Where's the girls? Shanti's a girl. T's a girl. There's girls here. I never promised girls. So, or is Shanti a girl? We don't know. She could be lying. But I want to know what you guys think of the channel. Like, we're 2 years into the channel now. What do you guys think about my content so far? I want to hear some more feedback from you guys, and I will take any feedback happily. I'm not one to get in a tizzy over feedback. Negative feedback is also good feedback because you can work on it. But yeah, and also it's a great way of me having this Discord as well, is that you guys could talk to me, and I will listen to ideas. And I will tell you if it's not a good idea. Peaky made me spend money today. To be honest, right, it was payback because you made me buy those. It was your fault that I bought the Digimon figures and the Yu-Gi-Oh figures. So it was your fault. So I did that. So I repaid the favor. Don't do any more hot pepper streams, please. I did not enjoy watching you suffer. Honestly, as much fun as that charity stream was, I'm in the works right now to be planning a second charity stream for towards the end of this year, maybe beginning of next year, depending how the rest of this year goes for me. And there won't be incentives like that. There will be challenges, but there won't be like life-threatening challenges like I did last time. And I'll be thinking of some really cool ways for you guys to get involved with the streams as well. Would you start to collect horror or have horror figures? Due to the space that I have at the moment, I can't really dive into many lines just because I am more or less confined to this one room. This room is my office, my collection, and my bedroom. So just because of that, I would love to get into more toy lines and more collections, but at the moment I physically can't. But I like horror figures, yeah, as long as it's not anything to do with clowns. For those who don't know, I have a massive phobia of clowns, so I wouldn't dive into like the It lines or anything like that, or like the killer clowns from outer space, anything like that. But I would love to dive into more lines happily, because there are a lot of lines out there that I would love to be able to get. I just can't at the moment. Do a charity stream, but just don't torture your insides. Well, what do you mean torture my insides? I mean, I'm going to torture myself. I'm just going to not threaten my life like I did with those chilies. I got to admit, I felt it the next day. I felt it when I woke up the next day after I ended stream. I was in pain all day. T loves horror stuff. You like me, what would you get? So mainly more toy lines that I had from a kid. I was on Dark Lycan's channel last night and we were reminiscing about TV shows that we used to watch. And I'd love to go back into the toy lines that I had when I was a kid. So I used to be a massive Micro Machines fan. You get the massive play sets, you can fold them out and you can play with toy cars. We love those sets. And I would love to have a massive display cabinet of those sets opened up with the cars placed in the play set and everything, and just have them all on display. Because I would probably end up getting them out and playing with them again. But Micro Machines is a massive thing I would have loved to have get back into at some point. For those who don't know, I am into Lego as well, so I have a Lego City just on the side here that is currently in the works that I'm currently trying to build up. But yeah, maybe a few Transformer lines. There was one Transformers animated show that I loved when I was a kid. It was Transformers Armada, and they came with little microcons or mini-crons, I think they were called. I'd probably get the Armada line as well, because I grew up with that as a kid. I have been looking at the Beast Wars, the vintage Beast Wars figures, and I would probably get them. And if I do get them, I'd probably keep them on the card and the little plastic bubble that they come in. Maybe pin them on the wall or something somewhere. What about Chucky? Chucky's fine. I grew up watching the Chucky films. It's just clowns that I have a massive phobia for. And the story behind me not liking clowns is my sister was babysitting me one night, and she was watching the 90s Stephen King's It, Tim Curry. I was probably about 5, and I saw that on TV. And since then, clowns are just not my thing. I think we all stepped on. I think we all stepped on a lot of Micro Machines and a lot of Lego in our time. I still step on Lego now. A diecast. I do have a Voltron as well, and especially with the Megazords, the Power Ranger Megazords that I have behind me. Voltron kind of fits the bill. So, congrats on 400. Can't stay long, heading out for an early dinner to wrap our family vacation. No worry, Brian. Thank you for popping in. I don't like to force people to stay and watch my content. But yeah. Ian, if you're free, don't forget you're free to jump on. You've met Tim Curry? Yeah. Honestly, I'd love to meet Tim Curry, but obviously I don't think he does cons anymore because of his health, and it's a sad sight to see because he's an amazing actor. I love Tim Curry. I just don't like him in Stephen King's It. Congrats. Thank you, Elmir. I think I said that right. I'm sorry if I butcher names. I am dyslexic and stupid. Oh, he does. He's here in LA. Oh, okay. I didn't know if he was still doing appearances at conventions. But fair play to him. If he fair play to trying to do as much as he can while he's still able to. Massive props to him. Thank you, Manga Fandanga. I'm still in shock that we've hit 400, but I'm happy as well, obviously. But we're gonna keep on grinding until we can't anymore. Elvira too. Oh, that'll be a good meet. I'm intrigued to be to keep going to cons. I only really go to gaming conventions, but I'd love to go to more Comic Cons. Probably next year or the year after, I'll probably go to some more cons because next year I have a trip planned into Europe. So I'll be flying from England to Europe next year, but we'll keep the details secret until I do the videos for that. Robert England as well. Oh wow, that's a great mate. Terrifier as well. Never really. I don't think I ever saw the Terrifier. You go to horror cons? Fair enough. Yeah, I'm more of a gaming convention type of guy. Cause I've been gaming all my life. You've hit 303 subs. Wow. Congratulations. You're catching up to me. Jeez. And we actually have someone in the waiting room. Let's bring him in. Hello, Ian.
Hello, Chris. How are we, sir?
I'm all right, mate. We can't see your face. We can only see your beard.
I know. I'm adjusting the camera. It's a bloody cat again. Knocking the camera around. There we go. Try that again. There we go. Okay. How are we, sir?
There we go. I'm all right. I'm still in shock over the 400 subs, but you know.
Congratulations on the 400, dude.
Yeah. Next goal is 500.
As I said earlier, mate. So I'm waiting for you to have a complete and utter breakdown when that happens.
I think I'll have a breakdown at 500, and if we ever get to it, a breakdown at 1,000 as well. I think at 1,000, I might have to check myself into an institution for a couple of weeks.
Excuse me.
Welcome back, T.
Yep, walking the dog, I think. Yep. So yeah,
Can't do torture porn. Yeah, I'm like some horror movies. I'm not keen on. I love the Saw films and I love the Final Destination films. But I think.
Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud here, Chris. Horror films are a weird one with me. I tend to like the more classics, like Vincent Price and Christopher Lee, rather than a lot of the more modern stuff.
Yeah, I don't like the ghost and like that kind of horror films, but I prefer like the gory ones, like Saw and Final Destination and Jeepers Creepers.
A good slasher, never. You can't beat a good slasher.
No.
Question for you, because I haven't seen it yet. Have you watched Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey yet?
Not yet. I really want to watch it, and I really want to do a review on it. So that might be a video for when I come back from my week off.
Yeah, it's on my list to watch this week if I can get on my ass and watch it.
Possession films are a bit of a no-go for me, especially when the first Paranormal Activity came out. I was watching it with a group of friends, and they decided to prank me while we were watching it, put their number on private, and started calling my phone so I could hear all of us talking and the film in the background of this call. Yep. And that did freak me out a fair bit. All right, I was like, even though I was in my teens, I was like, 16 at the time. It still freaked me out, and obviously I didn't realise at the time that it was them. But I'm not a fan of possession movies.
I'll tell you the one film that I struggle to watch even now, even after 20 years or so, is sorry, brain's gone completely dead. Hang on a minute. It'll come back to me in a minute. Not Psycho. The Exorcist.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of The Exorcist either. Baz will be here in about 5 minutes.
Okay, while we're waiting for the Scottish dude, you talked about before wanting to do more Comic Cons. Who is at the top of your list to meet if you can get there?
If I can get to any Comic Con, I'd love to meet more Power Ranger actors. In
Yeah.
all honesty, for me, the top of my list, I would love to meet more Power Rangers actors. I've met Steve Cardenas, who played Rocky in season 2, season 3, and Zeo, and the Turbo movie of Power Rangers. And I want to meet more Ranger actors. Like, I've got a book behind me on my shelf there of the history of Power Rangers that goes all the way up to Beast Morphers. And I'd love to fill that with more autographs. That's like my Power Rangers autograph book. And I'd love to fill that with more. Out of all of the Power Rangers actors, I think the two that I would want to meet the most would be obviously Zane from In Space.
Yep.
As you know, Ian, and maybe some others may know, the Silver In Space Ranger is my all-time favorite Ranger. And the other one I would love to meet Merrick from Wild Force.
Interesting choice. I would have thought about him. But
Laguna Wolf Ranger. Because again, like, he's another one of my favorite Power Rangers. So,
I mean, if you can get over to Liverpool in November, Amy Jo Johnson is going to be visiting.
Oh,
they managed to get her down, and I'm like,
I don't know if I'd be able to, because that would be Christmas. That'd be Christmas season, and when you're working in like retail, it's hard to get time off during that season.
Well, put it this way, I've already said to the good lady, as soon as I can free up the money, I'm booking her.
Yeah. Shanti, I'm all for, like, if you're going to host it on your channel, I'm all for jumping on and doing a horror stream with you. I happily do that. I don't think I've been on. I think the only time I've been on your channel so far, Shanti, is the New Year Eve live stream you done.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see your butt cat.
T will be there. I'm not surprised. T loves watching live streams.
Yep.
So Captain Spaulding's met the Scream cast, Killer Clown, Gremlins, House of Found Corpses, Freddy Krueger, Elvira, Hellraiser, Pumpkinhead, and Friday the 13th.
Elvira, what a brilliant shout, Cassandra Peterson. I want to meet her at some point.
T has some Kruger gloves tattooed on her.
Does she?
And here we have Mr. Dark Lycan, the one and only.
Hello there.
The Scottish have invaded.
Yeah, can't have a stream without a Scotch stream, can you?
No.
Well, I want to say congratulations, my friend. It's kind of crazy because last night you were talking about your 400.
Yeah, and then it from last night I think what we said on the stream, I had 6, 7 to go.
Basically, I think by like 11:30 I noticed you hit 400.
Yep.
Well, we hit 400 this morning. So we hit 400 this morning thanks to setting somebody in the chat. But yeah, I don't mind hosting the horror stream, Shanti. I could do a horror intro for the stream as well. Like my starting soon screen that I have up before when I go live, I could do a horror themed one.
Okay, when you were actually talking about horror movies, right?
At the moment, yeah.
My favourite genre of horror movies is like from In Wrong Turn. I like anything that's got like mutant hellbillies or children that are like Jason. I love Friday the 13th and all that.
Yeah.
Shanti, are you getting weak at the knees for Hellraiser? Because if you are, you're a very strange person.
Oh, Chris, you need to watch the new Hellraiser. It's actually good.
I must admit, I watched Hellraiser for the first time recently, and it's bloody good.
Yes, the OG
Yeah.
Evil Dead. Very good. I suppose the remake they done a few years back wasn't bad, but there was one scene in that really freaked me out. Was when she cuts her tongue off with a razor blade.
Okay, yes. Oh, and somebody in the chat has just mentioned Dario Argento's Suspiria. Brilliant trilogy of films.
Yeah, the OG Hellraiser is pretty good. OG.
She's not wrong. There's something about Pinhead. Well, can somebody please explain it?
I think Shanti should explain why Pinhead is hot.
Yeah, please do, because I am quite curious.
Even T is agreeing that there's something about Pinhead that gets her going. Right. So should I do a cosplay of Pinhead?
I agree with Shanti and T. There's just something about Pinhead that kind of does make you a bit weak at the knees.
I'm just ready to speechless here.
Thank you, UTC.
Because Pop My Culture, whoever he or she is, I just said, because Pinhead looks like he would just own me in bed.
The thing is, because it's like the
Guys,
way...
that's it. Right, that's it.
It's hard to describe like Pinhead, but I think it's because he's, even though he touches your soul, but if you actually look at the way he's more like a, what's the word I'm looking for?
I think, for the chat, I think you just killed Peaky.
What is this stream turned into? We're 30 minutes in, guys.
It's all right, Chris. You'll be watching from Hellraiser after this. You'll be like, oh, I can see where Shanti.
To be honest, I can't. I have work at 6 a.m. tomorrow. So as soon as we finish up here, I'll be going to bed.
Can I recommend another brilliant film with an actor who was now no longer with us, Julian Sands and Warlock. Brilliant film.
Oh, Warlock was a good film, like.
Shanti, all right, Shanti, you're saying I can't. Shanti, I could take you anytime. Oh, she meant anywhere.
Don't worry, Shanti.
But I could still take you anytime, Shanti.
Don't worry, Shanti. I can't spell weather down on a good day, let alone a bad one.
I can just never spell.
13? 13? That's a bit optimistic, isn't it?
For clarification, everyone in the chat, I'm not 13. I'm almost 30. But there's a running joke that I'm 13 because I look really young.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah. He's got the Fountain of Youth on him somewhere.
Yeah, he's using the booster. He's using his niece's booster chair on his chair, so it just looks.
I am the Fountain of Youth, Ian. I am the Fountain of Youth.
Well, you're the fountain of something.
But we wouldn't have him any other way, though, Ian.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Chris is like the little brother you always wanted.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Captain Spaulding asking what's spelling. It's something that I have to have. I've got a subscription to Grammarly to help me with my spelling. Like I have Grammarly installed on my phone and my PC, and I still spell things wrong.
Well, put it this way, Peaky, because of the little business we run nowadays, I've now got Grammarly, and I've got AI software to help me write emails so that I actually make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've used Chat GPT twice, right, to write something. One was I needed to write a cover letter for a job that I was going to apply for, and I'd never done one. So I was like, I'll use ChatGPT. So I used ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and then I've used it once. I was applying for a game key from a developer, and I'd used ChatGPT to write the email for me.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, Ian's knocking everything about.
That was my phone, by the way.
Echo. That might be Baz. Baz might be the echo.
Well, I have
Or it might
another
be me.
question for you, Mr. Peaky.
Go for it.
Following our rabbit hole last night of retro TV shows,
Yes.
I would like to suggest another rabbit hole to fall down. Retro sweets.
And as you say that, as I'm diving into a Pop-Tart. And I have a toffee crisp on my desk.
A Pop-Tart, eh? What flavour?
Chocolate fudge brownie, I think. I know. The wrapping's here. The box is downstairs, because I can't trust myself with the box up here, because I'll eat them all.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Yeah. My phone just types whatever it wants sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'll go for it. Barbie was awesome, by the way. I look forward to your review on it. I'm going to try and watch it at some point, because I really want to see Barbie. Just for the lols, I want to go watch Barbie, and I kind of have to, because the trailer review that I done for Barbie did get like 3,000 views, so I'm going to have to go watch the film now.
Nice. Well, I got told.
I also want to go and see Oppenheimer.
Yes.
And I want to go see Oppenheimer because it looks like a really good film. But there is another reason why I want to see it, and that's because the great actor Cillian Murphy is in it, who is famous for playing Thomas Shelby in the Peaky Blinders. And if you'll pay attention to...
Have some decorum, please.
I can never do well on pointing it, but that picture right there in the black and white is Cillian Murphy as Thomas Shelby.
What is this other film that's coming out? Because I don't think I've seen the trailer for it yet.
What, Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
It's about the race to creating the nuclear bomb during World War II.
Yes. It's got a bloody good cast behind it.
Robert Downey Jr. is in it. Cillian Murphy. Matt Damon's in it. Is it Emily Blunt?
Yeah, I believe so. I would need to double check.
I think it's Emily Blunt is in it. I think Universal is a bit disappointed in Shanti for going to see Barbie.
The one that I need to go and watch at some point is MI7.
Yes, I need to go and see Mission Impossible as well.
Because I was.
Yeah, but the big question is, did she actually go dressed as Barbie?
Oh, now that's the question we all.
I reckon Shanti would make a great Barbie girl.
But would you make a good Ken?
Well, I would agree.
I'll be Ken, obviously. I've already got the body for Ken. I've got the chiseled abs and everything. So
you need to grow another 2 feet though.
And I can do that because it's my channel. I can do what I want.
Round of applause, man.
Shanti says Mission Impossible was good as well. I don't expect anything else from Mission Impossible. They've all been great.
I mean, I also wonder how long you can carry on. You can carry on doing it.
So, what he wants to make, I think his plans are to make a couple more after this one. He's in his what, 50s, 60s now, Tom
Yeah.
Cruise?
Yeah, 50. He's in his mid-50s, I believe.
Yeah,
I
so
think
I
the
doubt
rumor
he can
was
go on
it
for
was meant to be-
much.
It's meant to be, was it 12? They were going to do 12 movies or 13 movies altogether.
Okay, so we're not that far left of them.
I know they've either made it or very close to finishing number 8. Because the original intention was to release them back to back, but COVID decided to destroy it.
Because there's I know they've done the John Wick, and I know this was meant to be the end of the series. But there's rumours that they're going to do another one, but it's going to introduce him as he was back then. So he become.
I wouldn't mind seeing a prequel to the first John Wick of how he got this legendary status as the Baba Yaga. I'd love to see a prequel, but I think leaving it at 4 and leaving where it finished off as 4 was poetic to the character.
I don't know you very well, Shandy, but good for you.
Stu, why be like this? I've seen some of the clips from it because some of the clips have come on. I've been on like TikTok and stuff like that.
I was going to say
a lot of the jokes in the trailer are very adult jokes. Like there's one where like it's like Ken's talking to Barbie and he's like, can I come over later? And she's like, why? He's like, because we're boyfriend and girlfriend. And Barbie's like, and do what? And then Ken's like, I don't actually know.
It's like the joke that they've got. It's like, why is Barbie not pregnant? Because Ken comes in other boxes.
But
well done, man. Well done.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be watching many films in the cinema at the moment, just because of obviously this strike that's going on. I don't feel going and watching movies in the cinema is a great thing to do. So a lot of the films that I want to see, I'm probably going to wait until they come out on like streaming services or digital, so I can rent them.
To be fair, and when I've looked at the sort of list of films that are due to be released in the next couple of years, the only one there isn't really that much that grabs my attention.
I think the only ones that have really grabbed my attention so far that are coming out this year is obviously Oppenheimer. Trailer for the Marvels dropped today.
Oh, I need to watch that.
Early hours of this morning. And it's made me even more hyped for that. I'm intrigued to see what that's going to be like, the new Marvel film.
I've seen the trailer for that where I was up at my sister's earlier on. It does look quite interesting.
Looks really good. I'm intrigued to see the storyline. Because obviously we don't really see what their main storyline is from the trailers. We just know that they keep swapping places whenever they use their powers. So
it's like when you see certain parts of that trailer, it's like you do notice it looks like she's got Ronan's hammer thing.
Yeah, but she's not Kree, I don't think. She doesn't look Kree.
No. But there's one thing she says, she took everything from me, so I'm just wondering, was she a sister of...
Maybe she is Kree.
What was the main villain again?
The actress that plays the villain in this, I think, is Tom Hiddleston. Loki. Tom Hiddleston? Yeah, Tom Hiddleston. That's his girlfriend, I believe.
Okay.
Like in real life, that's his partner.
Ah.
I think so, anyway. And he gave her advice on how to play a Marvel villain. It's like, what better person to get advice for? Like the best Marvel villain we've had in the MCU is Loki.
You think he's the best villain, do you?
No, he is. He's a good villain, but because he does play for men, because he also plays Magneto as well, doesn't he? Or is that the other? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
You're thinking of someone else.
Oh, excuse me. I saw something earlier. I don't know how true it is. But
They make a gynecologist joke in the film. Oh my god.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
I think Ian's watched it on the dark web.
No.
Blue Beetle, and honestly, so here's my take with Blue Beetle. The trailer looks good. The CGI in the trailer looks amazing, especially the way with the suit. But after The Flash and what a horrible film that was, I feel like I've kind of given up with DC at this point. I was intrigued to try and I wanted to see how DC was going to do.
Yep.
But The Flash has left a very, very bad taste in my mouth. I did not enjoy. I only bear in mind, I could only get through the first 10 minutes of The Flash, and I turned it off. I stopped. I could not get through the first 10 minutes. And if anything,
the thing with DC movies, right? The thing with the DC movies, Chris, is I think they left it too late.
Yes.
They definitely left it too late to try and compete with Marvel. But also, the thing with movies is I feel like the beginning, like the first third of the movie is what should grip you and should what keep you watching. I feel like.
I may have just found the new thinking.
That first third of the film should be what grips you and what should keep you interested and intrigued to see how the rest of the film is going to play out. Flash did not do that for me. Like I said, first 10 minutes, I basically turn it off before we even get into the multiversal stuff. And yeah, I will admit I was so hopeful for this film because as soon as they said it was going to be a Flashpoint film, I was like, one of the best comic stories they've done for DC, and also it was a great animated movie. I was like, I had real high hopes, and they just absolutely sucked.
It's weird that they kind of get the live action version of the Justice League or DC, but their animation movies are top notch.
The animated movies for DC are phenomenal, especially like how graphic they are. They're literally like just pulled scenes from the comic books.
I was going to say whenever I reach for an animated film, I automatically go for the DC folder.
Shanti almost walked out after the baby scene, and for those who want to know, that's in the first 10 minutes. And if it's the scene I think Shanti's talking about, it's in the first 10 minutes. That was horrible CGI. CGI was absolutely terrible for that scene. I don't want to tell I don't want to say what the scene involves because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it and who do want to see it. But I will warn you now: it's terrible CGI. You can tell it. You can tell. I know you're meant to kind of tell when something's CGI'd into a film because it looks out of place to what's actually happening. But this, you can definitely tell someone's edited it all in. I don't even edit videos, and I probably could have done a bit of a better job. You know, that's it. And we now know that because it's finished its main box office run now. I think some theatres are still showing it.
Yep.
But it's because it's now on digital. It's available for digital now. It's finished its main box office run, which is when they calculate what it made during its box office. It was the worst DC film to date in the box office. The Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern film did better than this.
What? Really?
Yes.
That takes some.
The Ryan Reynolds, the Green Lantern movie did better at the box office than The Flash.
Talking of Ryan Reynolds, I don't know how true this is, but I saw a picture online.
Thank you, Gilbert.
That seemed to indicate that they were, the Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman Wolverine film. I heard a rumor going around that they might be bringing back a couple of the characters from the other franchises. Notably, the one that caught my eye was Elektra, Jennifer Garner.
Yeah, Elektra. I know things about Deadpool 3, and I know these because someone that I know has worked on the film.
Fair enough.
As before the strike happened, he was working on the film.
Yeah,
So I know some things, and obviously I'm not going to spoil anything. We were just talking the other night about it because of the strikes happening. He's technically out of work at the moment, and he's no longer under contract from Marvel. His contract with Marvel is finished with the film because the film is more or less finished now. The film is more or less finished filming. They've probably got a few reshoots to do, if anything. But yeah, the film is more or less finished now. Luckily, just before the strikes happened, they were wrapping the filming up.
To be honest with you, it's a bit time that I've seen Wolverine in his proper costume.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to agree with Shanti here, Gilbert. Your game. I've got to be careful. I'm on
There's also rumours that they're meant to be doing a Logan 2 as well, so I don't know how that's going to work out if it's just going to be based on...
To be honest, it's not going to be Fox that do it because X-Men are now belonging to Marvel where they should be. I think...
I don't know if it's true or not, but they're meant to be doing a Logan 2.
I think, and people may, like, especially Gilbert from Fulcrum Entertainment, might be able to correct me on this. But I think Marvel now have all of their rights back, apart from Sony and Spider-Man, which Sony are never going to let them get Spider-Man go.
I was going to say, do they the Fantastic Four? Because there were rumors flying around.
Fantastic Four are now back with Marvel.
That would
that's
certainly
I think that's why there's going to be a new Fantastic Four movie because they're wanting.
Bad, you've just took the word right out of my mouth, buddy. That's what I was hearing as well. That they want to get into the Fantastic Four into the MCU somehow. You know, some kind of alternate Avengers thing going on, and maybe one of the Fantastic Four involved.
Yeah, I believe Marvel, like I said, apart from the Sony Spider-Man thing, which, like I said, Sony are never going to let Spider-Man go because they make money from that. I think Marvel now has all of their properties back because the Hulk films were owned by Universal Studios, and those rights reverted back to Marvel this year, I believe. Which is why Marvel was able to make the She-Hulk film, was because the rights were coming to an end with Universal Studios, so they were able to work around it.
So, correct me if I'm wrong then, did they have to, because I'm sure you told me this before, but feel free to correct me. Hello, Kat. Didn't they have a special license from Sony for the Spider-Man character for the MCU.
Yeah, Marvel and Sony have a contract for Spider-Man to appear in the MCU.
Fair enough. I wasn't quite sure. Thank you for correcting me.
I don't know if it's for all Spider-Man characters, but they're allowed to use certain characters for the Spider-Man films.
See, it's
But
kind of
what I'm
weird 'cause when
liking
you watch
about-
the Craven the Hunter trailer, there is a character in there that's technically Spider-Man as well.
I honestly, that Craven the Hunter film, I'm not going to watch it. It's not for me. Just watching that trailer, I don't like it.
Yes, for the chat.
making-
I have four of those random animals. So if you see them lurking around, I apologise.
And they're making Craven, like, just from the premise of the trailer, Craven gets lion blood in his bloodstream, and it makes him superhuman. So he can like mimic an animal's like characteristics, like he can run really fast and like he can kind of like glide a little bit, or he can wall jump.
See, the way that
stuff
trailer's
like that.
went, Chris, to me it's not the origin story for the Craven that we all grew up with in the cartoons.
Yeah, it's
Like they're trying a
and to be
different.
honest, I think they've done something similar in the comic books. But to me, Craven isn't like that. Craven is a very skilled poacher and hunter who gets hired, I think it's by the Kingpin originally, to take Spider-Man out.
Okay.
And that started off the whole Craven versus Spider-Man thing. But like, don't quote me on any of that because I'm not.
It's the
into
same
all the
with you-
comics, like,
It's the same with Morbius. They never went with the same story for Morbius in the comics and the original Spider-Man cartoon.
We don't talk about Morbius. I still haven't seen that film. I've
I've
yet
still
to
not
have
seen it as well. I've just gone with like trailers and clips that I've seen. To me,
Yeah.
it's nothing like the origin story. It's like they've completely changed it for the new generation.
I've still yet to see Morbius, and I probably won't ever, unless it comes to Netflix. I probably won't watch it.
Okay, who is the most underrated Marvel villain for you, think, Chris?
Most underrated Marvel villain. That's actually quite a toughie.
I know. That's why I pitched it to you. You two are experts. I'm only an amateur.
Oh, I'm not an expert on Marvel. Trust me. I would say Chris would be, but more.
I see. I'm only an expert of the MCU. I'm not an expert in the comics.
Are you talking about like full-on villain, or are you talking about like anti-hero villain?
Delete is appropriate. Whatever you think is.
I would say we've yet to see him in the MCU or in live action. And I would love to see how they would do it, is Agent Venom.
I'm vaguely aware of him.
So it's Flash Thompson. He joins the army, and he gets his legs blown off. And he then bonds with the symbiote and becomes Agent Venom.
Okay.
And he can like bring guns out of anywhere, and like it's honestly like he's amazing. And I'd love to see him in live action.
There is one guy I would love to see in live
one.
action, and he's the guy that does all the he builds all the Spider Slayer robots. I can't remember what his name is. But then the Kingpin ends up doing experiments on him and basically turns into he's like more cybernetic.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was now.
I would love to see how Marvel do Doctor Doom. I'm going to agree with you on there, Shanti.
Definitely.
Oh,
I
no,
want
no,
to see what Doom in the MCU is going to be like. And yeah, I wouldn't know who to cast for him already. I've heard rumors of someone who they could be casting as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
Go on.
The way they've been talking about with him doing the new Fantastic Four movie is that that's going to be the main villain as Doctor Doom.
I suppose the question is, what do they do? Do they go down? Because they've done the. Do they do the whole Spider-Man thing and just forget the whole origin story and just say we know the characters, or do they go down the route of yet another origin story?
There's two ways they could do it. They could do it at the Fantastic Four, like the team, like the astronaut team of them in the astronaut ship have been on a mission and they got lost and they managed to find their way back to Earth and they have these powers. So like they already kind of have the powers, but they don't realize they've got the powers until they get back to Earth. Or they could tease it at the end of the Marvels, and I think I was talking to Gilbert about this. I think it's Gilbert I've spoken about this. It'd be a great way for them to introduce it is in the Marvels film that comes out later this year. We're going to see the Sabre space station a little bit more that's orbiting Earth that Fury's on. I'd love for them to see a ship coming into the Sabre space station, and you hear a voice saying, "This is, F4 coming into Sabre space station, like preparing for docking."
Mm-hmm.
And then a radiation storm hits the ship as they're about to dock with the station.
Makes sense.
And then that teases the Fantastic Four.
Or they could be returning to Earth and then get hit with a cosmic storm that basically was the original story.
Honestly, so like you wouldn't see the actors, you would just hear the voice, and then you would see the cosmic storm hit the ship. That'd be honestly a great way to introduce the Fantastic Four.
To tell you who I want to see back is we've only seen him briefly. Well, we've only seen him in that film in 2005-6-ish, The Silver Surfer.
I'd love to see Silver Surfer back, and he would if they brought him into the MCU. I would love for him to still be a Herald of Galactus. It's a great way to introduce the Silver Surfer as a Herald of Galactus.
It'd be actually interesting if they ever did. Would we actually get a better version of Galactus? Because I know the one in the 2005, we didn't really get to see what Galactus actually looked like. It just looked like
Galactus was just like in that film, Rise of the Silver Surfer. Galactus was just a big storm cloud in space.
Yeah, basically bad CGI.
Yeah. I would love to see a proper Galactus. Well, it makes sense with Galactus being the main villain of this saga that they're doing, because this is, I suppose, this is the multiverse saga, so this is all going to be Kang orientated. But the next saga after this, which I'm hoping would be kind of like the cosmic saga, where we get to see more stuff off-world, off Earth in the MCU, more planets, more teams like that. And that would be a great villain for that cosmic saga, would be Galactus.
I still say we need another Captain Britain. We need more Captain Britain in the. We need a Captain Britain in the.
We need Captain Britain. Yeah.
I'm quite surprised they've not introduced him yet, because when they've done it with the Black Knight.
Who would like? I want to know in chat as well. Who would like to know who a possible cast for Reed Richards is? Because I know
I'm
you two
it's
might
got
be
the guy that basically plays him for like 10 minutes, or not even that, in the Doctor Strange movie then.
I will agree with Shanti there. Tadlasso was a great series.
I still need to watch that actually. I need to sit down and watch it.
It's so good. So good. You don't need to understand football or soccer for you Americans to understand and to get Tadlasso. I'm not a huge football fan, and I really enjoyed it.
Whereas I am, so I might get the jokes maybe slightly more.
You'll probably get references and jokes and little bits a lot better than what I would. But
what is that, Ted Lasso? Because I've heard you and Billy talk about that quite a lot.
So it's a comedy show. I say it's a comedy show. It's just kind of like a sitcom about a American football coach who gets hired by an English club over here to be the new manager. And it's kind of him learning the culture and learning football and trying to coach this team as good as he and try to get them up in the leagues as much as he can.
Right.
Really good.
I need to have a look up for that then. I need to. No, I've heard you and Billy talk about it quite a lot, and it's like I thought it was some sort of like comedy sketch show or something. The way the two of you talk about it.
No, it's kind of like a sitcom type thing.
Weirdly, over the years, I've just been thinking about this as you were explaining to Baz there. Considering how popular football is in this country, they haven't actually done that many what you might call football-based series.
No.
The only one I can think of, and I'm not even going to include Football Wives because that was just ridiculous. The only one I can think of that comes close is Dream Team.
Yeah. Getting hot.
Feeling hard.
Yeah, no. So I'm gonna ask again for the chat. Would you like to know who I have heard had a is possible Reed Richards? Because a few people in the chat, mainly Shanti and T, may have heard of this actor as well. Especially if they've watched the 3 films that he's in. The 3 films? Yeah, 3 films that he's in. And even more so, they may have heard of the books that those 3 films were based on.
Oh, now you've got my interest.
Yeah, so,
that's why I said it. I want to see if I've got anyone else's interest with that little hint.
Well, that's interesting.
If people don't want to know, then obviously I'll say it to you guys off stream, or I'll throw it into the private chat in here so no one else can see it.
That makes sense.
Shanti's asking.
So Shanti, I was saying, who wants to know who the possible casting for Reed Richards is for the new Fantastic Four film? Because you may have heard of the 3 films or the 3 books that the 3 films
I'm going to ask
is.
I think I know what books you're talking about because I think these books were based for the girls.
They were, yeah. Also, T and Shanti both want to know.
But I can't. I think I know what books you're talking about, and I think I know what films you're talking about, but I don't know what the actor's name was that was in it.
He's a British actor, I believe. And Jamie Dormer, who played Christian Grey in the 50 Shades of Grey films, is a possible rumour for Reed Richards. And honestly, I could see him playing Reed Richards very well.
As soon as you mentioned
especially if they go through the route of it's a fairly youngish team, or they're all like maybe in their like 30s, then Jamie Dormer would be a very good choice. And Shanti is already. I think Shanti's already in.
Oh my fucking god! Yes.
Shanti is now. Shanti, I think Shanti definitely wants that to happen now.
Even T's like, ooh.
Oh, T's interested as well. I never saw the 50 Shades of Grey films. I will put my hand up and I will say that I've read the first 2 books.
Chris, I bet that's the 3 films that's on the top of your film viewing list.
Yep.
Between that and Harry Potter.
I've got all the Harry Potter books right behind me. Apart from the only one I don't have is The Cursed Child. It's the only one I don't have.
Well, I'm going to see The Cursed Child.
We definitely all know why you read the books multiple times, Shanti. We all know why you read the books multiple times. They were there for your bedtime, weren't they?
Yes. You needed some education and some highbrow reading of a night, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, that's probably how she snagged Josh with reading those books.
Yeah, maybe. I will admit, as much as I don't agree with a lot of what J.K. Rowling says about like the LGBTQ community and about trans people, as Ian and Baz are also fellow UK people, Harry Potter is embedded into us, especially when we're growing up.
As they've started saying, Harry Potter is basically a rip-off of Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
I was more thinking a bit darker than that, actually.
Well, the way when I say rip-off of Star Wars, is like Luke's from kind of an orphan, Harry's kind of an orphan. Luke's got a lightsaber, Harry's got a wand kind of thing. So it's like some folk have put 2 and 2 together and says, "Oh, it's just basically the same story but different." Different thing.
Well, I was gonna go considerably darker than that, Baz. Actually, I've seen and I can see where they get it from. The events of World War II. Need I say more?
Yeah, because you've kind of got the Death Eaters as kind of like, I'm gonna say it, they're like the Third Reich, basically.
Yes.
I'm not going to say the N word because the N word can get me in trouble here on YouTube.
Exactly.
But they're like the Third Reich, and then you've got Dumbledore's army, which is the Allies,
and the Resistance, obviously.
Yeah.
You've got a situation where they're trying to wipe out basically all Muggle-born wizards, which is obviously drawing comparison with the Jews and the whole pure blood thing, not being of the correct race.
I can see the comparison. I can see. Now you've said it, I can see the comparison.
Yeah,
but I just want to touch on this. Your mic's going a little bit fuzzy, by the way, Ian.
Thank you, bud. I'll adjust it now.
T. If those suggestions you have for Shanti, throw them my way because I need some bedtime reading.
Is that any better? Is that any better, Pete? You ever adjusted the microphone slightly?
Yeah, that's better.
Cheers, bud.
Yeah. See, Shanti's intrigued, and so am I. I love a bit of risque books, so throw it my way, T.
if you want a good nighttime story, read the actual original story for Hellraiser. That book will keep you up for fucking days.
You know what? I've never actually read it.
Oh, it's the book is brutal, like.
So, for those who
Brutal in a good way.
For those who didn't know me during the lockdown times, I don't think I was in many communities during the lockdowns. I was actually in the process of writing a trilogy of books.
Okay.
What, Peaky and the Thousand Buggers?
No, I've managed to find the first draft that I've got written up so far of book 1, and I got 2 chapters in.
Okay.
And I'd love to go back and finish writing at least the first book, but I've lost my notes, like my character notes. I've lost all of them.
Okay.
But they were themed kind of. I took inspiration from horror books, mainly from Stephen King.
Yep.
And it was very. I'd say it's very like it themed, where you had this entity, you had this weird entity that would end up putting people into comas, and it would do that by. It was a mix between it and Freddy Krueger, because he would go in through their dreams, and instead of killing them like Freddy Krueger did, he would end up putting them into this long stated sleep where they would continuously dream, and it would make that entity more powerful.
Okay, yep.
And it was following a group of young adults in their early 20s. They were all like in their early to mid 20s, and one member of their group ended up falling into this comatized state, and it would be the rest of their group trying to figure out why, like what had happened, and it would all lead into the person that ended up going to this state was a scientist, and she was working on something that had been unearthed, and that's what released this entity. And she was kind of like one of the first people to be attacked because she had worked on this thing.
Okay.
And the book 1 was called Dream Thief. And it was going to be a free, like a trilogy, but each book was going to focus on. So the first book was going to focus on this one group. The second book was going to focus on another group. A couple of years after the events of the first one, and then the third book would be the two groups end up having to come together because they end up finding out about each other, and then working as a one big team to try and combat this entity once and for all.
That sounds interesting, Peaky.
What kind of trigger warnings? And Shanti's asked if it was Hellbound Heart, Baz, the book on Hellraiser.
I can't remember which one it was, but there was one I read, and it was brutal. Like, it was the original. I think it was actually the original Peaky Parker storyline. That's why he wanted to be a part of the actual movie, because he wanted to keep the movie, wanted to keep it to the book.
The way that's worded sounds very like possessive and kind of, I'm gonna say, rapey. And T said, I have insomnia. Dude can try and put me to sleep. Good luck. T, I've got some ways I could put you to sleep.
Oh, I bet she could. Dirty bastard. You 13, you keep that 13 year old.
Your mind, no, your mind went there, not mine.
Chris, I constantly have a dirty mind. You just have to tell me something. You just have to mention a certain character and it goes, my mind goes loopy loo.
Ian, your mic again. Sounds like a connection issue. Just read a couple of pages to see how the prince wakes up Beauty. Oh my god. I got that into my list, Shanti.
Chris will be picking him up after work tomorrow.
Peaky's going to try and find a copy online. Peaky's got a Kindle, okay? Peaky's going to try and pick it up on the Kindle store. Alexa, set a reminder.
What's the reminder?
Peaky needs a new book.
Read The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty.
When should I remind you?
Tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Okay, I'll remind you tomorrow at 11 a.m.
T has an idea about how he wakes up Sleeping Beauty, apparently. Does it require his pointy sword? I'm going to put it politely.
Ad haunting
Adeline. I'm going to, instead of telling Alexa to remind me, I'm just going to, where's my phone? I'm going to make a note of all of these. Yeah, I'm writing them down as well, Shanti.
I have to say, Chris, thank you for putting me doing that new rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I did walk in Home Bargains and bought one and then wait until what I need to do and then bought the other two. So I'm just missing one guy.
Oh, we can all side eye each other when you're done. Yes, we can all like just give little like.
I have an
snippets
echo.
to each other. Apparently, you do have an echo. I'll just keep referencing it to you in the in the Discord, T. I'll just keep throwing you guys little like lines like every now and again. It'd be a good way to wake up. Instead of me sending you a gif of a giant purple dildo running at the screen, I can just give you like a little like naughty quote. You can't be embarrassed about sex. It's the most natural thing we do as humans. Yeah. Did you know? Like, just on while we're on that little like subject there, like dolphins are another mammal that have sex for fun. We have us humans, and we also have dolphins. Also have sex for fun. No other species on record does it. They only do it for reproduction purposes. And Ian's back.
Right, let's try that one again. I walk back in and we're talking about dolphins having sex. What the hell?
But yeah, it's because of the naughty books we're talking about, okay? I tell you what, right? This stream, this is why I didn't put any kind of like theme on the stream. I just wanted to go down different little rabbit holes and different little like roads. Honestly, this has been a good stream. I'm enjoying this so far.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to go down rabbit holes, Chris.
Go down.
That's my
Oh
rabbit
yeah.
hole.
No, right. No, stop.
No!
That's my rabbit hole.
Stop.
That's my
Guys,
rabbit hole.
do you want to show off the stuff that you picked up today?
Well, those weird looking monsters.
Yeah, we'll throw you up on the big screen.
Yeah, why not? Eh?
I'm a nice host like that. We'll throw you up on the big screen.
Thanks to Chris. I picked up. Don't make buying these bloody things.
Come on, guys. If you're enjoying the stream, why don't you come and join us? You can't ask. We can't.
I think Shanti's working at the moment, so she can't.
Yeah, well, it's more
That was the guy I wanted though, Chris.
Oh, Quilroy. We had him at one point, but then he went out of stock quite quick.
He reminds me very much.
Yeah, but when I say to the message says I went and found him, I walked to the shop with him and then I put everything back in the car and then I went back into B&M's again and bought the other place.
I suppose at least it's not hard. You couldn't figure 503 million.
3 more minutes and Shanti can log off of work. Does that mean Shanti can join us?
Yay!
But you did, but because Shanti's room, me and Shanti does have a similar interest. I can't help myself, Chris.
I've decided, Chris, we need an English.
I can't help if she's coming a sexy looking woman that likes to cause mischief.
I got to try and do this kind of off camera.
Oh no.
Not working.
Oh.
I'll just show you a little snippet.
Oh yeah.
I've got to be careful about what I show.
But is that a just in case scenario?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, you can kind of see
still
them.
here.
You can see them a little bit on camera anyway.
Don't know if Luna Girl's still here, but I know she likes this guy.
Ah, the Demogorgon.
To be fair, I've never watched Stranger Things. It didn't want to give it a crack.
This guy's a beast.
I quite enjoy Stranger Things.
That's a question for the chat.
It's a show you can watch once and still remember what happens.
Okay.
There's 4 seasons?
All right. Question for the chat. I've got 2 shows on my watch list at some point that I'm going to have to watch. Cobra Kai and Stranger Things. Yay or nay?
Both, yes.
Both.
Cobra Kai got me back into loving the Karate Kid films.
Okay.
We have someone in the waiting room.
Oh, God.
It's the one. It's the only. It's the ever so beautiful and attractive Shanty!
Kiki!
You're on the
hail the
channel!
queen.
Happy 400!
This is what, your second time
I
on the
don't.
channel?
I came back for sloppy seconds.
You can always come back for sloppy seconds, Shanty. You can always come back for sloppy seconds.
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello, how are we?
The myth, the legend.
Ian,
that is
this is Shanty. Shanty runs the Pop My Culture channel,
Yeah, Josh doesn't do
and she's
a damn fucking thing.
the ever so lovely brick babe on the Lego studs as well. Famous for the internet's most sexiest legs
Oh, thanks.
and a strawberry trick that she seems
Yeah.
to use her
And check that out.
wicked tongue for.
But Chris, you're forgetting about one. She's also famous for the lightsaber as well.
Oh, yeah. Which
She's
is
also famous for getting very moist over a lightsaber.
That's back here. It's over here.
You watch that video. You can tell she got very moist and very excited over a lightsaber.
It's an awesome lightsaber.
And she's also
Eating
she's
you.
almo-
Lovely.
also the number one General Thrawn thirst lover. She loves that blue guy apparently.
You just made me realise, actually, Peaky, I still haven't been asked to get myself a lightsaber yet, so I need to get myself a lightsaber from the weapons wall.
You mean you don't have one of these?
Okay, we're short off.
I'm just hitting everything now.
I don't know, Shanty's like, you call that a lightsaber? A lightsaber.
Oh, Chris is showing off now.
I could do the.
I think this thing's out of battery.
Oh, no.
I'm just gonna keep hitting the lampshade as well. Apparently. Yeah, mine needs charging. Mine doesn't turn on.
I don't know how to turn it on.
I've also lost the charger for it, so I don't know how I'm ever going to charge it.
Oh.
Yes, T. Our good friend Shanti got very, very moist and excited over a lightsaber.
I did. It's beautiful.
Yes, Shanti. This entertainment is free.
But look at the tip. Doesn't it look like a dick?
Oh, Shanti gets touch tips.
Oh, yay. Oh.
Oh, fuck.
I have no fucking shame, man. I have no fucking shame.
Thank goodness, but it's at 5:30.
Shanti, you've known me for quite a while now. You should know what I'm like.
I mean, this is what happens when you go to Catholic school the majority of your life. We're the worst. We're the worst, man.
You're a Catholic girl, are you?
I mean, that we become.
That's made the that's made the dream slightly better, knowing you're a Catholic girl.
I was. I'm not anymore, but I did attend.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you're not a Catholic girl anymore, Shanti.
No. I would probably burn.
Are you a Catholic girl as well? Oh God.
I must admit, Shanti,
is it me or is it getting slightly hot in here with all these Catholic girls?
It's you.
There's a reason why I still adore plaid. I love plaid.
I'm gonna need a cold shower after this stream.
Between Buzz and Harley's obsession and you, Peaky and his gone, Peaky and his obsession, we were doing quite well.
That's not even ice cold, so I don't know why I'm doing that. But
I can't help it if I have an obsession for a certain character. Who wouldn't?
I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we all have our obsessions. This is mine.
right, yeah, you've got a thing for Jack Skellington and for Thrawn.
True.
It was the punishments. Apparently, T liked the punish. Please diverge. What kind of punishments? Actually, no. Don't diverge in the kind of punishments. I don't think I could handle it.
See, that's for Baz.
I
love.
I think T's got mixed up.
Okay, now it's getting a bit hot, a bit warm in here for Baz. Did you watch the trailer for Harley Quinn season 4, Shanti?
I haven't watched the trailer yet, but I cannot wait for the show.
See, I haven't watched any of that show. Is it worth the watch?
Oh, watch it, Chris.
About it tonight. I love it. The season is actually premiering, oddly enough, on my dad's birthday. But I am so stoked. I love it. It's very, very
in the chat. Yeah, probably.
They're doing a Valentine's special, Chris, that you would probably love. I love that.
I know her and Ivy get into the famous relationship from the comics.
And you know what? They're doing a beautiful job relationship. They're not just, which is fine. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but they're not just filling the male fantasy with their relationship. Like their relationship is actually very like sweet on the show, and it's very funny, and it is kind of, in a way poking fun at the whole Batman universe, but if you know the Batman universe, it just makes it that much more hilarious. Like
I was gonna say, I would hope that they
I'll give it a watch.
You have
hopefully
very vulgar.
Hopefully, where I'm going on my vacation next week has very good cell service signal where I can be able to watch stuff.
Are you finally coming to Miami?
I'm going. No.
I'm coming on.
You're in Miami, are you, Shanti?
Yes, I'm in Miami.
Welcome to Miami.
We're talking about going to the States in about 5 or 6 years, and Miami's on the list.
Cool.
Miami. As we all know, it was made. Miami was made famous by the Will Smith song.
Yes.
Welcome to Miami.
Bienvenido a Miami.
To switch back to a serious subject, I hope that they treat the Harley Ivy relationship with proper dignity rather than just let's stick an all-female relationship in for the sake of sticking an all-female relationship into it.
No, they build on it. It doesn't just happen instantly.
They
from
do.
What I know of the show.
Really do. They really do.
It doesn't happen instantly. It develops.
And it's very sweet, like very sweet relationship.
Could you imagine seeing that?
What episode I'm talking about when they done the Valentine one?
Oh, the Valentine's episode was great. Especially Gilbert was just talking about Greg Goldsky. He plays himself. He voices himself in that episode, and it's so funny. It's a very good show.
Could you imagine them doing that romance in live action?
Say that again.
Could you imagine them doing the Harley and Ivy romance in live action?
I'm sure they have. Just go to porn.
All right, I'll be back in a minute.
I think Chris has something for Ivy. You might have to send him an Ivy figurine or figure or something.
Born and raised. Rated T. Never left.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I was a kid, and that famous Batman movie with Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy came out, I did kind of have a bit of a thing for Poison Ivy.
I'm not going to say that Uma Thurman was cast poorly. I just didn't like her accent. I felt like I was watching like Mae West or something.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I can kind of see that.
The costume she wears when they're doing the auction. And then they gave her that weird like, bodysuit that I actually didn't like towards the end of the movie. I like that she was option. I wish they would have gone with that. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it.
It was the way like she
was very sexy.
Oh,
Don't get me wrong.
and it's the way when she kissed men and got them under her spell. Like,
This is how Poison Ivy should have looked like.
Yeah, and I mean, I hate that they tried to tap back to that live action Peaky's. I really want them to take another shot at doing a lot of ways.
yeah.
Like I know Matt Reeves is that maybe a little bit more on the grounded side, kind of, but I really think if he did it right. You could Poison Ivy work. It is.
Yeah, I did, especially with this new direction with like Matt Reeves taking Batman with Robert Pattinson as Batman. Is they're kind of done a similar thing with the Spider-Man films where they brought in characters we haven't really seen much of in live action. All right, I know we've seen Danny DeVito as the Penguin, but we didn't see him as the mobster Cobblepot.
Right.
And we all know that Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, has always kind of been that mobster. Like in the comics, he's been a mobster more than anything.
Colin Farrell portrayal.
Yeah.
I mean, I really loved the Batman. I loved that movie.
I when that was announced and when the trailer and it was announced that Robert Pattinson was going to be Batman, I was a bit skeptical. I think a lot of people were.
Oh, not me.
It wasn't because of Robert Pattinson being in Twilight. It had nothing with him.
No,
I just didn't see him.
For a lot of people, but not for that wasn't.
I didn't see him as being able to portray Batman and Bruce Wayne at the same time very well.
I was going to say I struggled with that as well. To be honest with you.
The way they did it and the way they've done the storyline and the way it's like he's been this, he's been in a real bad place ever since his parents got murdered and he was never over it, and he then became the Batman and it started. He was.
There's another character for Shanti.
It's fun. So Catwoman was always my girl. She was always my girl. But when Harley Quinn came on the scene, like she is slowly edging out Catwoman. Just like
also, I love how popular Harley Quinn has been.
Extremely
to the fan base, especially as she wasn't an original comic book character. She was made solely for the animated show.
Yeah, that's where I saw her because I
think we all grew up with that show, didn't we? It was iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and considering they made a character specifically for that show, and then she was introduced into the comics and other Batman lore. I was like, oh, okay. Like,
it's an
and a lot of the times when they do that and they make characters for just the shows and they're a completely original character, it doesn't always go down well with the fan base.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I mean, when I think about that show as well, obviously Mark Hamill voiced the Joker, and obviously he did a bloody good job of that. I automatically, in fact, he's my favourite Joker. Hands down, Mark Hamill favourite Joker. Let's just get that out of the way right now. Right? But whenever somebody mentions Mark Hamill, I do not think Luke Skywalker. I think the Joker.
I think of the Joker from the Arkham games. Because again, he portrayed the Joker in the Arkham games, and he did a fabulous job at playing that kind of Joker.
Yeah.
Because that was a completely different Joker to what he voice acted in for the animated show. Yeah.
I mean, he did a lot of the DC movies as well.
Yes, he's done a lot of the Joker voice arc for the animated films.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to get political, but I remember reading. Well, I watched this thing a couple of years ago when Trump was in office, and he did this thing where he read out Trump's tweets as the Joker, and it was just hilarious.
I would like to see more Batman villains and Batman characters we haven't seen in live action
Oh,
in Batman 2.
this
I
is
would-
so
I-
weird. I remember having this conversation last night. He saw Oppenheimer and Barbie last night. I only watched Barbie. We were talking, hey Tim, and we were talking about Cillian Murphy. We were talking about how much we did love Scarecrow, Christopher Nolan Batman movies, and we're like, we really need to see more of the Batman villains. He has the best rogue gallery of villains of any superhero, Marvel and DC, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And I want more. Like, I get the Joker is obviously a staple, that's his arch nemesis, but man, you barely gave us Two-Face. Barely.
I'll tell you my favorite, right? If you take the Joker out of it, my favorite is the Riddler.
I like the Riddler too, but
honestly, the direction they went for the Riddler in the Batman was amazing.
it was nuts.
Yeah, like he was a completely different take on the Riddler, and he done a really good job at that kind of Riddler.
He did. My only issue was it was a little too similar to me. He was still a little too reminiscent, I guess, of the Joker, so it felt a little similar.
Yeah,
But other than that, first of all, the actor, I think he's a phenomenal
I
actor.
suppose it depends on what direction they go with the Riddler. Like any character, if they want to go, if you're talking about, I don't know, it's very different, but just bear with me. If you're talking about the 1966 Batman or the 1995 Batman Forever, where it's deliberately completely over the top, then fair enough. But that kind of character,
See, I would love to see Clayface in live
like
action.
more darker edge to it.
I think Matt Reeves is going to go in that direction, guys.
I would love to see
I agree,
Clayface,
guys.
see what they actually do with Clayface.
I read that he does.
Clayface also. I know we've seen him in the Suicide Squad, but they didn't do that character justice in the Suicide Squad. It was Killer Croc.
I want to see Mr. Freeze
Yes.
because I love Mr. Freeze, and I think you could actually, since Matt Reeves is a little bit more grounded and not as fantastical.
Yeah, we'd love to see a
think-
better
think-
incarnation of the Scarecrow as well.
I read that. What's his face? The guy who plays Rorschach in the Watchmen movie. He said that he would love to play Scarecrow, and I think that would be excellent casting. He's not.
Let's be honest. Cillian Murphy did a fairly good job as a live action Scarecrow.
Oh, I loved him as Scarecrow. He was one of my favorite.
I always
Another
forgot that when The Dark Knight Rises came out and he's in that courtroom and he's like with the gavel. I completely forgot that was Scarecrow. I was like, Cillian Murphy's in this. And I was like, wait a minute, he's Scarecrow. Of course he's in this. And
He's
it's like,
the consistent one, and he's in all three of the Nolan movies. You know,
yeah.
So you like that?
Well,
Dude, one thing we're missing for me is the whole. They're constantly breaking out of Arkham, and he's constantly putting them back in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kind of want to see that reoccurrence.
Yeah.
You would play the Bane.
Who else would I tell you one thing I haven't seen in live action is Man-Bat.
Oh, now we're talking, Chris.
I would love to see how that I would love to see how they would do it in live action.
Yeah.
More than anything.
Agreed.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, like, all right, we got to see him in Suicide Squad, but Killer Croc, I'd love to see another live action version of Killer Croc. But I'd like to see the Killer Croc we know from the comics, who is absolutely brutal and ruthless, and you know, more Croc-like than what we got in Suicide Squad, because he wasn't exactly Killer Croc. He didn't have the iconic Killer Croc look.
No, he didn't.
Afraid to go there because Batman is such a dark world. You know what I mean? So they really not be afraid to go there.
Absolutely.
And I need to make a rated R Batman. Make a rated R Batman. I don't give a fuck. I would love that.
Also, we got to see him a little bit in the other Suicide Squad, the James Gunn one, is
I like
Calendar Man.
Gun one, honestly. I didn't like the first one.
Calendar Man would be another great shout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get to see much of we only saw him briefly talk in the James Gunn Suicide Squad. We don't actually ever see him do anything other than that. So I'd love to see a film where he's hunting down Calendar Man.
Yeah.
That'd be quite a good, even if it was part of the film where he's hunting Calendar Man, it's not like the main antagonist.
Right.
Just be honest, especially because Calendar Man's thing where he kills on holidays.
Right.
Yes, he only kills on Pacific days of the year.
Yeah. So it's a great way of.
You gotta watch the Harley Quinn animated series.
Is Calendar Man in it?
He's he's in it for like a joke, and it's in the first season, and it's very quick, but some of these they definitely tap really into some of the lesser known villains. Like, I didn't know that Kite Man was real, so when I saw
there's also one that he's gonna be in. He's going to be in this new DC films that they're doing. Is Condiment King?
Oh, him!
They're bringing Condiment King. Like, I'm honestly kind of intrigued to see how that's going to be, because Condiment King is the most weirdest villain. I think one of the most weirdest villains DC has is a guy that shoots ketchup and mustard from tanks on his back.
Well, if you go back to the 66 Batman, man, there were some weird characters in that, like Egghead and the Pharaoh and all that.
Egghead's quite.
I was gonna say that 1966 was a really random one. I mean, the King Tut, which is the very character you referred to just now, and then there was this one there was this sort of all sorts of weird and wonderful characters that they could bring back. If they wanted to go over the top, but I mean, he would play a new Catwoman in for you guys.
Shanti.
What? Catwoman?
Yeah, Shanti. Shanti can play Cat. I'd love to see Shanti, rock up in a leather suit like that.
I was to play a woman.
I know you have.
I have the Michelle.
That's why I suggested you play Catwoman. I
wish. I gotta lose 100 pounds, but yes, I would love to play Catwoman.
Shanti, you look beautiful like you are, the way you are.
Oh god, the pandemic completely killed my body, man. Like COVID, like just being so lazy and stuff. I'm trying to get back into working out, which I have been going to the gym. But yeah, no, this is believe it or not, this is honestly the heaviest I've ever weighed in my entire life, and I feel disgusting.
Yeah, well, you look fabulous, so shut up.
I would say shut up. Shut up, you look fabulous. Baz looks okay. Peaky looks young.
Wow, shots fired at Baz.
Baz is just Scottish.
Oh, Jesus. Look at his face.
See, when you come up to Scotland, I'm going to kick your ass that far. You're going, what mess is going to be feeding them?
By a bagpipe up his ass.
I might enjoy that, though.
Oh, God.
Luckily, I have wheels, so I can wait for it. You see?
Yeah, Ian, just make sure that, Ian, when you meet Baz, just make sure you're on a hill so you can get down the hill quicker than what Baz can.
Here, Peaky, we'll shove this too.
Well, yeah. What I do?
Actually, I'm not going to do that live on stream. I forgot we were live streaming for a second there.
Then that's a good thing, because that just it should feel friends talking.
See, even T is saying you look great.
Thank you, you guys are wonderful. I don't believe it in myself, but you guys are wonderful. Isn't it funny how people could tell you 100 positive things and it's always the one negative thing that you just harp on?
Oh yeah, been there.
Yeah, I do that all the time. Have you met me?
Same.
See, I've been told recently that I've lost a lot of weight,
Mhm.
but I think it's down to my new medication that I'm on.
Oh yeah, that could be.
Because even folk at my work say it's like, you lost weight, and it's like you don't see it because you see yourself every day. You don't
Of course, right? Exactly.
see it, and then other folk have kind of noticed, and then you do gradually. It's like, oh, I have actually lost weight.
Yeah.
You don't.
I mean, I had a medical appointment the other day, and they decided to get me on the scales. Never a good thing. And they said, "Since your last appointment, you've lost 2.5 stone." And I'm like, "How? Just how? All I do is just sit there and eat crap. So how the hell have I lost 2.5 stone?"
Well, speaking of food, I actually have to hop off because I'm gonna go out to dinner. So I have
Yeah,
to.
we're gonna be wrapping up in a bit anyway. So
Yeah, it's nearly 10 o'clock, isn't it? Jesus, we've been on 22
Yeah.
hours.
yeah,
For almost 2 hours. Good for you.
it's flown by.
That's what happens when you have fun. And this has been
Yeah,
a lot of fun. The chat, great.
it really has.
Oh, yes.
and I made a new friend in the chat, so that's always good.
T is amazing. I met T through the Fulcrum Entertainment.
Oh, okay.
Another channel we support is the Dead Guy Productions. I met T through that,
Mm-hmm.
and like you should see it in in like my Discord server. Me and T just go backwards and forwards. And it's just
You do.
yeah, I absolutely love T.
Chris just from and winds her up, man. The poor
Oh,
lassie
yeah.
doesn't know what she's in
Mr.
for.
B,
Mr.
what
B.
you doing? Yeah, Nightbot just doesn't like people putting too many emotes in for something. I might just remove Nightbot at this point.
I had it for about 2 seconds and got rid of it because it was timing out people for the dumbest shit and consider.
It just like warned Mr. B, and Mr. B just put a couple of
Censor people in my chat. No.
yeah. I might remove Nightbot tomorrow.
I mean, honestly, if you have really good mods, in my personal opinion, you shouldn't need Nightbot because I can tell you right now, I will wrench a motherfucker if they're being disruptive.
Oh yeah, like well in here you're a mod.
Yeah.
T is a mod because T is in nearly every single one of my gaming streams, so it's nice to have a mod more or less always there.
If I see a sex
I
bot,
like
someone being disrespectful, I have no problem just wrenching them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I trust me. I've got no issue doing it myself either.
yeah. I mean,
likewise, we all look out for each other around here. That's what we do.
I'm used to streaming and doing that myself anyway from back when I used to do Twitch. So
yeah, you're used to it though.
I know where my standards are.
So I could make a joke, but I'm not going to.
I mean, I don't have many standards either.
Okay,
Just look at my ex. Just look at my ex-girlfriends I've had. You can see there's no standards. You can tell Peaky was thinking about something. Was thinking with something else there instead of his actual brain.
Is that what that thing is gone round? I thought it was just a hamster. It was gone round.
Honestly, at this point, it's not even a hamster. It's like one of those little like birds that dip in and out of water.
I was actually going to go as far as one of those goldfish you were in the
No, it's one of those like decorative bird things people have on their desk that just tilt.
Oh my god.
Sometimes when it stops is when my brain doesn't register anything, and I don't compute anything. Just need to shake my head and get the bird moving again.
My brain is permanently buffering. It's just like one of those being 17.
Yeah. But we're gonna wrap it up. So I want to thank Baz, Shanti, and Ian for jumping on my first stream.
It's our pleasure.
I've quite enjoyed it, and these are going to be a regular thing. Like I said, I'm on vacation from Sunday, so from the 23rd until the 30th.
Nice.
So there won't be anything being posted on the channel or anything for a week, because I'm taking it as a break from everything. And Alexa, turn on bedroom light.
Well deserved.
And so just to take it as a break, reset everything, like my brain, and not having to worry about content constantly.
Always a good.
And then when I come back, I'll be doing the 400 sub celebration video.
Yeah.
And we'll be working on the grind to 500, which hopefully I really want to try and hit 500 by the end of the year. So by the end of 2023, I think I'm going to hit 500.
At the rate you're going Peaky, you'll smash it.
Hopefully. But I want to say thank you to people who came up in the chat. So Dark Lycan was in the chat for some reason. I don't know who they are. We had T, Duffman was in, Captain Spaulding, Shanti was in the chat as well at some point. Ian was in the chat at some point.
Don't know who Ian is.
We had Brian, Captain T, obviously. I can't forget you. We had Stu from Universal Toy Collectors, Fulcrum, Luna Girl. We can't forget about Kelly.
Kelly's the best.
That would be, especially after the probing we done the other week.
I know. The least you can do is shut her out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We had Tim from Tim's Talk, who is the number one Kylo Ren cosplayer in the world.
God, look a lot like Kylo Ren.
But Fulcrum, you on Gilbert, right? You listen here, right? You Albuquerque fuck, right? You unsub from my channel. That'll be it. I won't ever appear on your podcast again, and I keep that thing running, and you know I do.
Follow.
Whenever you don't have a guest on, you won't have me. And also, like, go back to East High, go sit with Troy Bolton and the rest of the Wildcats, all right? Warning you. And we'll probe you.
God's sake, please don't sign off the thing about on proving.
Gilbert knows I love him. I rip Gilbert into
Gilbert, I love Harry. I love.
You don't hear the stuff. You don't hear the stuff me and Gilbert talk about before the start of the Fulcrum Entertainment podcast. I hound him from living in New Mexico so much.
And I bet he gives you. I bet he gives you shit back as well for living in the UK.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, thank you everyone for coming to the first Chill and Chat stream. Do you know what? We've gone from talking about risque novels, horror films, probing, tips. Shanti, stop rubbing the tip. That's the most sensitive part, Shanti. Stop touching it. We've had a roller coaster, and yes, check out Pop My Culture over here on YouTube. Get them to 400.
Yeah, get us to 400. We're fucking stupid. Go check us out. Yeah. We have a lot of fun.
Go check it and go find on the channel, right? Go find on the channel the video where Shanti gets moist over unboxing a lightsaber, especially a UT. Go check it out.
Check out our playlist under there. Yay! Thank you.
And go check out the Scottish one next to me, Dark Lycan. I mean, everyone probably knows Dark Lycan anyway. Go check him out. Ian doesn't have a YouTube channel, so I can't shout him out. So.
Yes. He is sorting it out.
But yeah, thank you everyone, and have a good weekend. And I'll see you everyone hopefully tomorrow for GTA 5 Part 4, and then that'll be me done for a week. So peace out everyone.
Bye everyone.
Have a good evening.
You too.
You too. Have a good